Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Sean and I'm chatting about the lunar eclipse in Virgo, which is on the 3rd of March. This is important energy and gives us a good chance to make some progress in our lives. So listen to my intro and then scroll down for your sun, moon and rising sign. We can't look at this eclipse on its own. This eclipse links to two strong forces, Mercury in retrograde in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. Together, these themes form a moment of letting go and a chance to review things more carefully. So, what is a lunar eclipse? A lunar eclipse happens when the Earth moves between the Sun and the Moon. The Earth blocks sunlight from reaching the Moon. This creates a moment of closure. A lunar eclipse often marks the end of a cycle. It shows what must be released. Sometimes it can expose hidden patterns, hidden feelings, or hidden information. A simple example: a person opens a cupboard, old items fall out. Some items belong in the space. Some items no longer support the person's needs. The process forces a choice. The person keeps what is useful and removes what is not. A lunar eclipse works in the same way with habits, feelings, or situations. The purpose of the eclipse is not new action. It's all about emptying that drawer. So this eclipse is happening in Virgo. Virgo focuses on systems, routine, work, health, and skill. Virgo deals with order, method, and process. What works? What doesn't work? What needs correction? What needs renewal? Virgo fixes what can be fixed. This eclipse takes place in this zone of life, so it would be best to focus on these kinds of issues. This eclipse can't be seen on its own. Joining the eclipse party is the South Node in Virgo and Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Together, they highlight old habits, old systems, confusion, review, and the need to correct patterns from the past. The South Node connects to the past. It pulls forward old habits, old roles, old duties, and old systems that have run their course. Because this eclipse is in Virgo, the release might happen in areas such as work routines, health routines, daily tasks. Maybe a person drops a health routine that no longer supports current needs. A person stops tracking every detail of a project and instead focuses on the core goal. Please. This eclipse does not ask for new systems. It asks for the release of old ones. The Mercury retrograde adds a backward motion too, so we re-examine or pause before we start our new cycle. An example: a person revisits a past conflict and sees it in a new way. This retrograde shapes the eclipse by revealing the deeper reason the old pattern must end. So let's briefly look at each sign, and please give me a like and subscribe. Hi Aries. This lunar eclipse hits your 6th house, so you might release a work routine, a health habit, or a pattern of taking on tasks that belong to others. The best way to work with this energy is to simplify your schedule and adjust your daily systems. A quick question: do you schedule time for yourself? Try something you really enjoy. This relaxation will make your work stronger. Hi Taurus. This lunar eclipse hits your 5th house, so you might release an old creative project, a pattern in dating, or a habit of controlling outcomes with children. The best way to work with this energy is to create space for new forms of expression or play. A quick question: how do you have fun and let go? The South Node is asking you to let go of something here. Hi Gemini. This lunar eclipse hits your 4th house, so you might release a home pattern, a family expectation, or an emotional role you have carried for a long time. The best way to work with this energy is to set new rules for your personal space and your private life. Some of you might think about moving. Don't be too impulsive. This need to move could be eclipse energy, but if you need to move, move. Hi Cancer. This lunar eclipse hits your 3rd house, so you might release an old belief, a communication habit, or a pattern with siblings or neighbors. The best way to work with this energy is to change how you speak, write, plan, or organize your mind. The eclipse is asking you to release something here, maybe a social online group or something to do with social media. It could well be that you've outgrown them and need to move on. Hi Leo. This lunar eclipse hits your 2nd house, so you might release a money habit or spending pattern. The best way to work with this energy is to build a clearer system for earning, saving, and resource use. I know you don't like budgeting, I mean, who does? But this eclipse is asking you to let go of a spending pattern. But be kind to yourself here. If you enjoy that glass of wine on a Friday afternoon, don't be too harsh and drop it. Hi Virgo, this is your eclipse, so expect to feel quite a lot. This lunar eclipse hits your first house, so you might release an identity, a role, or a way of presenting yourself. The best way to work with this energy is to choose new behavior that reflects your current goals. At a very shallow level, you might change how you dress or hairstyle. At a deeper level, this eclipse is asking you to let go of limiting beliefs. You might well be more than you think you are, or should I say, you are definitely more than you think you are. Hi Libra, this lunar eclipse hits your 12th house, so you might release a hidden pattern, a private fear, or a behavior that drains your energy. The best way to work with this energy is to rest, reflect, and close cycles that operate in the background. So how does the mind deal with 12 house matters? Mostly through dreams. You might have some intense dreams. If you can write them down, great. We all work with dreams differently, but thinking about your dreams will be empowering during this eclipse. Hi Scorpio, this lunar eclipse hits your 11th house, so you might release a friendship, a group role, or a goal that no longer fits your path. The best way to work with this energy is to update your networks and choose groups that support your growth. Toxic friends might reveal themselves to you. Ditch them. Life's too short to deal with this kind of energy. Hi Sagittarius, this lunar eclipse hits your 10th house, so you might release a work direction, a public role, or a professional responsibility. The best way to work with this energy is to review your long-term goals and adjust your career path if you need to. Don't resign during an eclipse. Be rational and think about it first. If you don't work, dealing with your public image, maybe online. Why not update your profiles? Hi Cap. This lunar eclipse hits your 9th house, so you might release a belief system, a study plan, or a travel idea that no longer makes sense. The best way to work with this energy is to think about how you learn things or new guiding principle you want to put into your life. If you belong to a spiritual or religious group in the past, memories may resurface. This is a process to try to get you to let go more fully, so you can move into new healthy directions this year. Hi Aquarius. This lunar eclipse hits your 8th house, so you might release an issue linked to shared money, taxes, debt, loans, inheritances, or financial reliance. You might end a habit of depending on another person's resources, or you might stop carrying the financial weight for someone else. You might let go of an old agreement, an old contract, or an old bond that ties you to another person's money or decisions. The South Node in this area brings old financial patterns to the surface. These patterns can come from past relationships, past partnerships, or past agreements. The eclipse exposes where you give too much, take too little, or rely on someone else in ways that limit your progress. It also exposes where someone else relies on you beyond what feels fair. The best way to work with this energy is to clarify money agreements, close unresolved financial loops, and set limits around shared resources. This can include paying off a debt, restructuring a loan, updating a joint account, revisiting tax matters, or ending a financial tie that no longer works. It can also mean creating clean money boundaries inside a close relationship. Hi Pisces. This lunar eclipse hits your 7th house, so you might release a pattern in a relationship, a contract, or a one-to-one agreement. You might shift the way you relate to a partner, a client, or an important person in your life. You might end a commitment that no longer supports your direction, or you might change the terms of an existing partnership. The South Node in this area brings old relationship habits to the surface. These habits can come from past partnerships, past commitments, or early templates of relating. The eclipse exposes where you repeat old roles, where you avoid conflict, or where you rely on someone else to make decisions. It also shows where others rely on you in ways that take energy or time beyond what you can offer. This eclipse can expose imbalance inside a bond, unclear agreements, or a pattern where one person holds more responsibility than the other. The best way to work with this energy is to be direct in your communication and state your needs honestly. This may include setting limits with a partner, or redefining what a relationship means for you. Honesty is the best policy here.